welcome. Today is a very exciting special topic, how I created multiple six figures while juggling my crazy demanding career, part 1, so you can do it too. Okay, I know you don't want to hear all about me, but you have to hear a little bit about my backstory. And if you're looking at me right now, I look half naked because I just got off the beach in Bondi, and that's truly how I did it. Not being perfect, not caring about being perfect, showing up to serve. So stick around to the end. I'm going to tell you not only how I did it, but how you can do it too, because this is not the Cara Bruni show. Well, it could be labeled that. And heck, maybe we'll go viral because we look naked. But truly, this is not about me. This is understanding my story. If any of you relate, to show just a bit about my journey. So hopefully you will take some key takeaways because this was not perfect. This was not easy. It was not overnight. It was not pretty. But I really want to share my backstory to really do some justice here. So stick around to the end because I'm going to give you 5 tangible tips so you can make sure that you are leveraging that as you scale to maybe your first 10K month, 6 figures, or multiple 6 figures. So 4 years ago, I moved from San Francisco to London for my career at LinkedIn, and I was just over the moon. I was dreaming about croissants in Paris over the weekend, drinking great amazing wine in Italy for a long weekend, and maybe falling in love with a man, maybe some men with accents. That didn't happen, guys. Spoiler alert. But I just thought I was going to live my best European life until I landed in London, and almost immediately my body just stopped working. I kid you not. 2 months in to moving to London and one F45 challenge too many, it was like all hell broke loose. I felt like I had the flu every day. I was weak. I was tired. I was fatigued. My face broke into rashes every single time I ate. I legit became allergic to lettuce. It was like I felt like my veins had poison running through them. And I was someone who was uber healthy before, quote unquote healthy. Probably an extremist. Can anyone relate? But I was working out with a personal trainer every day, and I went from that to really laying on the couch more often than I want to admit. I became a shadow of myself. I used to be fueled with working and working out. So to say I lost my identity would truly be an understatement. I had no idea who I was. I will save you the suspense as to what happened 3.5 years later or so. I finally found out that I was diagnosed with mold poisoning, breast implant illness, and adrenal fatigue. Mold poisoning was the big, big, big one. I won't get into that more and all that stuff later down the road, but that is definitely a story for another day. But today, I really want to tell you that that was what led me to my personal development journey. I had to figure out something to, one, get me up off the couch. Like, it was so dark and it was so difficult. I had to do something for myself, but also for others. There had to be something more. I had to give back in some way, shape, or form. But entrepreneurship, let me be really clear, was never in my journey. Like in my I never dreamt of it. I never wanted it. I'll talk more about that after, but like LinkedIn was my dream job. I wanted to climb that ladder forever and ever. But my only passion that I actually had was playing basketball. I played basketball through college. It was all I knew, but I gave up my WNBA dreams right after college, right after my first or second year. And then I was like, okay, what's next? And health was the only thing I knew. So I turned to health coaching. Everyone seemed to be getting their health coaching certification. So 12 months later and one certification, I realized that my true passion actually didn't lie in health coaching. It's what we do, right? We do something, we think it's going to be the thing, and then it's not the thing. But really, my background in marketing, social media, consulting at LinkedIn, I was a social media manager when Twitter was all the rage, before Instagram even existed. So I was like, okay, how do I take those skills, those credibility markers, and bring them online? And that's when I switched more so into business coaching and consulting. But I had no idea what the heck I was doing, guys. Like, zero. And my stuff was so bad. But the thing is, I just started. I started by posting Tony Robbins quotes, a whole lot of them, left and right. I did everything wrong. I was paying people to grow my Instagram account because if I just had Instagram followers, surely then I could monetize something, even though I was selling nothing. I just thought I was going to be Insta famous. And I see this all the time. I dumped $10,000 into an ads coach. It went horribly wrong. There were so many things I did wrong. I started with my website. All these stories for another day. But the one thing I did right is once I started going down this path, I knew I was made for so much more. I knew I would figure it out as long as I kept failing and failing fast. So I never, ever, ever gave up. Like I said, I had no intention before my illness to ever become an entrepreneur. LinkedIn was the dream for me. And it's still the best company in the whole wide world to work for. I've taken so much of what I've learned and brought that online, from creating a culture, creating a brand, personal brand, high ticket sales and whatnot. But after I really started to see how I could use these skills online and truly transform people's lives, it was something so much more powerful than and more fulfillment than I could ever have received from just climbing the corporate ladder. And that was when I knew that this was what I was made to do. But scaling to multiple six figures while juggling that career was not an overnight success. And I will say it over and over again. The internet makes it look really, really easy. And for some it is. But instead of me telling you all the things that I did, I would rather tell you some of the things that I would do if I was to start over again today. And also, I want to tell you the 5 things that my clients who have scaled to multiple six figures within 6 months, what they have done. So get out your journal, get out a pen and paper, and get ready for it. Number 1, they had a clear value proposition. They have messaging that is so crystal clear as to who the heck they are, but also who they serve and how. The who and the how are really, really important. Most people, teach you about the who, but not the how. The how is where I see most people go wrong. So I really want you to focus on your unique methodology, your USP, your unique selling proposition, right? Focus on that. Super, super important. Number 2, they had a skill. A real skill set that could be articulated. Now, this does not mean that you will not be successful online if you do not have skills in your corporate job, either right now or you had them before, and you don't want to take those skills and bring them directly online. I call those transferable skills. Doesn't matter. You can still learn another skill. Sometimes it just might take a little bit longer because you're learning a lot of that business building skills as well as another skill as well. And you're trying to juggle both, right? Again, no worries whatsoever if you don't have that transferable skill. And in this example, so a lot of my clients were marketers in their corporate role. So they just took their marketing skills in their corporate role and brought those online. And that's when you can scale really, really quickly. Or maybe you take a program around how to become an OBM, and that's another thing that you learn that skill and then you can scale that quickly. So I never had an exact transferable skill. And really looking back at it, I probably did, but I was all in my dang head that I wasn't good enough, right? And so I kept buying course after course and coach after coach and looking at other people's content to figure out my unique factor. So instead, I want you to list out the credibility markers that you do have. I want you to focus on the things that you do have and how you can market that with your utmost confidence versus focusing on the things that you do not have. Number 3, learn high ticket sales. Oh my gosh, I wish I learned that earlier. Quickly. Selling 1 million small ticket offers is so much more difficult than selling a few high ticket offers at the beginning. So if you are in the beginning stages, I would not recommend selling, even though you want to, right? You want to sell maybe $100 program or $200 program. Because maybe you're not as confident as you could be at the beginning, but your audience is where, when you're first starting to develop your personal brand, it's going to be a lot more difficult to sell $100 courses than maybe 2 high ticket offers at $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, right? Just think about the math there. It's typically way, way easier to go high ticket at first. And then when you're really, if you are listening to this and you're like, hey, well, I'm in that real scale zone, I will definitely learn the high ticket sales process, become so confident in your pricing and how to do that there. And then you can go the opposite way and start doing some of the smaller things. Number 4, a belief that you can charge high ticket. This means that you must know that your offer is absolutely worth it, but that you are too. It will be really scary to put yourself out there, even if you are the number one salesperson in your organization. I've seen that time and time again. People come to me and they are the best in corporate, but you're still selling yourself. It's a little bit different. But what I need you to know, what I want you to know is you are resourceful. Even if you haven't done the exact thing, you're resourceful and you will not let your clients down. If you don't have the answer, think back to your career. You will find the answer. And last but not least, I want you to provide so much value. If I were to do it all over again, I wish I started with my personal brand and providing exceptional, crystal clear value. That is all I would do today. I would provide value from my own accounts, and I would provide value and cross promote in other people's accounts in terms of just networking. So create your opt-ins, create your freebies again that are crystal clear, and grow your email list. Don't focus on your website, grow your email list. Start there. That is what I wish I did 3 years ago. And it can actually still truly be that easy. Until you're probably at that 5, 10K mark, you really don't need to focus on some of the branding elements. Messy freaking action for the win. I'm the queen of messy action. Look at me. I just got off the beach. I just wanted to provide this value for you. And so, last part here is when I say value, I actually mean something meaningful. Right? I don't want you just to provide any crappy opt-in. Like, it should be something that can really make you stand out as the expert and position yourself as the expert. When you show up consistently, you're going to figure out what's working and what's not working amongst yourself and amongst your audience. And so right now, I want you to go do a content audit of yourself. And number one, ask yourself, would I buy from me? And number two, ask yourself, do I know exactly what I do? Has to be that clear. Okay, well, I hope that my story, some of that crazy background, I never wanted to be an entrepreneur again, and I think so many women reach out to me and they didn't want to either necessarily. It wasn't what they were going after, but it just kind of fell upon our laps, and then we just had this mission to keep going. And so if you are here, I know that you have that mission as well, and I hope my story shows you what is possible, even if you don't have the exact skills, even if you have no audience today, even if you feel like it's all crazy difficult, even if you don't have any time, even if you have another business, maybe a career as well, maybe a family, that it is truly possible for you as well. I have seen it all. I've heard it all. You can do it in a way that's super different and super aligned for you. And I hope you stick around because I'm going to get into some of the strategy and the energetic hacks in the next episode. But thank you for being here. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and take a screenshot, tag me on Instagram. I would love to repost you. And if you also like this, please feel free to share with your friends. I appreciate you guys. Speak to you soon. Bye.